Hello everyone, welcome. We are live, and speaking of live, we have pressed the button for the RuneScape Android beta. 25,000 slots are open. If you can't see the download right now, it will take time to propagate to your store. So basically keep refreshing it. Some of you might have snuck in a little early, and that's just simply because we don't know how long it takes to propagate due to caps and so on, but well, it's out. Go get it. Let's get on the mobile hype. I mean, that's safe to say. So without further ado, I'm going to kick that off, and we are on here today for covering the month ahead, what is coming up for March. To my left, we have Mod Raven, Mod Timbo, and to my right, Mod Ramen. Oh, I love the switching. This is great. Alrighty.
Look at the switch camera.
Yeah, the switch camera while we were introducing. That's great. Okay, so we're going to kick it off with Raven. Raven's feeling a little bit poorly, unbelievably. But we wanted to get him on here. Yeah, my point exactly. So I wanted to get on here to kind of just talk about the quest a little bit. We had the stream last week. We kind of covered it a little bit, but it was kind of a let's play, so we were focused on the core content of ED, Elite Dungeons. So the quest itself, why the approach to keep it quiet and secret?
Two reasons. One, we wanted a surprise. Like, we were already doing Elite Dungeons, and we figured that we could do Elite Dungeons as the big thing. We say, look at this, oh, it's shiny, look at it, oh, it's so pretty, look at it, ooh. And then have something so that when they get to actually get to the content, there's like, oh, there's this whole additional extra thing as well. The other reason we kept it secret is it's a bit of an experiment as far as quests go. It's much more similar to how we used to do quests, which is a lot of sort of reuse of assets and simple interactions, so that players kind of need to find things out and work stuff out themselves rather than be led from point to point. And so that's what this one was. It's a lot of reuse of assets, that kind of thing. We were experimenting with various bits and bobs, i.e. sort of the length of it, the idea of breaking up different things, playing around with bits and bobs. And it was also something that we kind of worked on a lot on our free time as well, rather than as part of the sort of core thing. So rather than hype it up and add extra pressure on ourselves, we wanted to keep it quiet so that if something went horribly wrong, then we could not launch it and it wouldn't matter. But as it stood, we were able to launch it.
We were pretty close, right? It got pretty close to
It got very close to the wire. Thankfully, we had two new starters. Mod, let me get this right, Kano and Desert, not Dessert. Or is it Dessert and not Desert? One of those.
I think it might be Dessert.
Is it Dessert? Or is it Desert? Mod's one of those words.
Mod Sand.
And Mod Kano, who helped out with a lot of things. So Mod Desert, or Dessert, went through and he made sure everything tied together. He pieced things out. He's the one that's responsible for lots of the little interactions and sort of additional things. Like when I originally wrote it, I just did one on things rather than you making the use on kind of things. The fact that it's use on is down to him. And Mod Kano did the Black Knight section, which I originally didn't have time to do. So between them, they really fleshed the quest out.
Obviously, as a couple of notes, just obviously the chat talking about mobile is kind of understandable. For the people who are putting that command in, yes, that does work. It will take you to the download page if you haven't got it, of course. And just to reiterate, it's for Android at the moment. No further news on iOS, so just to make that clear. So you won't see it on the Apple Store anytime soon. If you missed this batch, if you're watching this on demand on Twitch or VOD and you actually missed, did I?
Sorry, there's a player that went, noticed me, Senpai, noticed me, and then they read their username. So I can't officially notice them.
Okay.
I did notice them, though.
I did notice them, but I'm not going to say I noticed them.
So if you're watching it on demand, the stream on demand, and you missed the first batch, the second batch opens up tomorrow at 9 a.m. game time. Raven's just a little bit, got a bit of a cough, as you can tell. Yeah, so it opens up at 9 a.m. game time, so you can check that out if you missed the first batch, and we'll open up another 25,000 slots for that. As a note, I wish I left my Twitch account logged in, because RuneScape today gives an extra parcel from the hedge.
Flip.
It is a guaranteed uncommon or better, so you might get very lucky and get a very good parcel from this.
Where's Mod Ryan? He loves parcels. Whoever's watching to get his free parcel.
Yeah, I forgot to leave my account logged in for Twitch. And also, of course, as a note, parcels from from the hedges in game, you can go see Postie Pete for the next 30 days. And of course, you get your daily passes on login, special rewards as well for your 5th, 10th, 15th, and 20-day logins. Those specific details are on the news post on our website. So just to get out of the way, come back to the quest. Do we see this kind of approach being taken for quests like this, well, certain quests like this in the future?
I don't know. We wouldn't do it in replace of like a big quest kind of thing. But my initial sort of looking at the results seems to be that in general it's gone down quite well. There are a few people who really don't like the format and really don't like us making quests like that. But the vast majority of people seem to quite enjoy it, and some of them had it as one of their favourite quests in the last couple of years. So,
It was nice lore. I enjoyed it.
yeah, so I think in general it's sort of thing that we can probably try and do. I'm not going to promise it for obvious reasons, but I think it's sort of thing where when things like tap come back, it'll be something that we can pick up and add on to additional stuff whilst we're using existing resources and things. So I think it has value.
I think we did a great job keeping it quiet, I'll tell you that much. We had some close scares.
We had a
Especially
very
with Mod Orion on
did
the
a
team.
great save of it.
Well, with Mod Stew.
Mod Stew.
Yeah, we saved it, it's fine. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. I think, can we use this as an opportunity as well? You did a tweet about this morning, but reward clarification, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a behind the month ahead video thing, but we used one of the wrong takes on the rewards, which listed rewards that aren't actually part of the quest. They are available, but they're in the elite dungeon itself. So the pet and well, it's not a cosmetic anymore, but a pet and a weapon that you probably weren't expecting are in the elite dungeons now. But the quest gives you 3 huge lamps, which is more than juicy enough, and 10% damage reduction in the elite dungeons, which stacks with damage reduction from story mode. So it's pretty tasty in terms of reward. It's pretty good.
The damage reduction was already a winner for me, if I'm honest. Wouldn't have got my first solo kill without that, I'll tell you that much.
Brag much, Jesus.
That's not humble brag. That was me
Look at me, I can
beautifully
kill the
introducing
ambassadors
the
now, though.
reward, you know?
Shawnee, Jesus.
It's all right, I haven't had any drops in the group unlike this guy here. So,
I
you
don't
know.
like Mod Stacy as well.
Yeah. So,
First kill.
The soul
First kill.
yeah, there we
is
go.
palpable.
Was that the super secret XXL project, the quest? So,
No.
Yes. No.
Don't look at me.
I'm more looking at you to trying to get with whether or not I can say no. I'm saying no anyway.
sure.
Or a
That's
no.
fine.
Yeah.
It's a super secret, but it's only super secret in the Judsters group.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you mentioned you're very happy with the quest. I think that's safe to say. Is there anything on top of that post-quest stuff or anything like that you can see going in, or are you happy with where it's at right now?
I mean, there are things I if I can find some time to do that I would like to do, but I'm not going to promise them. I'd like to do things like add a little scene at the end. We don't have time to do like cutscenes of your allies fighting, which is something I wanted to do. But
after the boat scene.
yeah, well, I wanted to have. I mean, what I really wanted to do is to have it trigger as you were in the dungeon, but that was
amazing.
too dangerous stuff to play around with at the time.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have something happening to show you what your guys got up to whilst you were, you know.
That'd be so
doing-
cool. All right, awesome. Raven, I'm going to let you go because I don't want to keep you here too long, but I want to get Raven on to kind of just talk about the quest because we kind of literally let it go under the radar even on stream last week when we were a little bit quiet about it, even though it just released. But yeah, it was awesome. So I think you guys smashed it for that. So I'm going to let you go so you can actually try and recover.
Bye, guys.
So thank you,
Don't
Raven.
die.
Alrighty, so we're going to come up next to the Firemaking and incense burners section.
Move up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to maybe move
Yeah,
up a little
there
bit.
it is.
There you go. So let's jump into this. So first of all, for people who are not aware, incense burners, what's the plan? What's the highlights?
I love talking about incense burners on the stream.
Go on.
It's all I've done for the last few months. So incense burners are a new fire-making key milestone. What we like to call key milestones. If you don't know what they are, go watch my mine and Mod Ryan's skilling talk from RuneFest 2017.
2017, yes, because then we did deep sea fishing. Yep,
Yeah.
2017.
We talked about key milestones. So we're adding key milestones to fire-making. So they are potion-like effects that get stronger over time. So you use one, it lasts for 10 minutes, which is new now. It lasts for 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, it goes up in potency. So much like real incense, it gets stronger the more it goes on. That's my thematic design. And then once it reaches max potency, so every potency level, it gets stronger. So for example, the Fellstalk incense burning has an increased chance to get an elite monster spawn if it has an elite monster. So that's 0.5% at potency 1, which then goes up to 2% at potency 4.
Okay.
So they all work in a similar way like that. Is that wrong? And Torsal is 0.5% XP and then up to 2% XP whilst training on anything. Hopefully it feels the same XP bonus slot as the Valentine Slam did.
Oh, nice. Okay, so finally you want to fill that.
So
Cool.
it all stack on top of everything, basically. So yeah, if you want to have that. Yeah, there's some new changes as well that we made to design.
There you go. I got you.
Oh.
Just for you, sir.
So you can only have a certain number of active instance burners at once. Some of this didn't make it to the month ahead.
Okay.
And some months, the month ahead information was old information. So I don't think, did we change the news post yet?
The news post as it is in the original format, but when the TLDW goes live is when the news post will be updated to, and it'll have a note.
So yeah,
saying,
instance burners are going to last for 10 minutes rather than 30 minutes. Was in there. You can have one active instance burner up to level 70, then 2 from 71 to 94, and then you can have 3 active instance burners at level 95 and above. Every instance burner requires Firemaking to burn and requires Firemaking to make. Instance burners are now made in 3 stages. So you chop logs into sticks, then you add ash to sticks, and then you add herbs onto the ash sticks. They give prayer experience for the ash sticks, but you don't get much herbal experience for adding the herb.
Okay.
We were going to, but we didn't want to add on a herb lore requirement. It's a Firemaking update primarily, and obviously herbs have a herb lore requirement to use them. Actually, we talk to the camera, I guess. So we didn't want to add a herb lore level to instance burners, so they don't give much herb lore experience. But the ashes don't require level 2 scatter, so you'll get the full prayer amount of experience for making ash sticks. So stage 1.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
Chop logs into sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Stage 2. Add ashes to sticks. Which you get prayer and fire. So you get Firemaking experience for cutting sticks, not fletching. You get Firemaking and prayer experience for adding ash to sticks. And then you get Firemaking and very small amount of herb lore experience for adding herbs to sticks. Yeah. That's right, I think. Yeah.
To be fair, you wrote the design all the way back in, was it October?
And the design's changed a lot as well. So you can, instead of waiting for 40 minutes to go to max potency, you can overload an incense burner to go from max potency from the beginning. That requires 6 incense burners, so you can go right-click overload and it will use 6 incense burners and you'll be from max potency from the beginning. And then you can use incense burners to go up to a maximum of an hour of duration.
So you could theoretically have an hour of 2% XP.
Yes, and that would
Nice.
cost you 11 incense burners in total.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would happily take an extra 2% for an hour if it's sustainable anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the point. The point is that if hey, I don't want to wait that long, I want to get the.
Can you refresh the timer?
Yes.
Awesome.
So if you click on an instance burner, it will add an extra 10 minutes, up to a maximum of 60 minutes. Instance burners are stackable, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay. So it's not worry of inventory overflow and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Cool.
So if you're running around with them and you need to top up, just one inventory space to get them done. You can get the skill pet while making incense burners.
Which one? Firemaking?
Yeah, Bunny. You cannot get
Herbert the Herbal.
Herbert or Spirity, Ghosty. The one that Magic's is drawing right now. You cannot get that from this. From
Does
making
the
ash sticks.
timer count down when you're logged off, or is it kept when you relog?
I think it's kept. They act very much like very long potions.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And to clarify, the news post says that the effect for Lantadyme, is it Lantadyme?
I believe so, yes.
Increases the duration of potions. That does work with overloads. It says excludes stat boosting potions. What we mean by stat boosting potions are potions that don't have a timer. So potions like crafting potion, agility potion that just boost your stat and then don't refresh themselves.
Right.
So any potion that has a timer like overloads or
Extreme strength,
extremes, renewals and stuff, they will work with the potion extending duration. For the full list of the effects are correct on the news behind the scenes. There's like a bajillion potions. a bajillion herbs and incense sticks, incense burners. Yeah.
Did that
that's
section
it.
help you? The information in there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So yeah, some of the highlights are the 2% experience that works like Valentine's Slam. So it stacks on top of every other bonus experience we have in the game, unless you use the Valentine's Slam. Not a lot of people know what it is. That's like really old content now, but hopefully some people out there know.
2016, that was when I just joined, and obviously everyone.
Hopefully everyone understands what I mean by bonus XP stackers, because obviously they stack differently. So like that sort of thing. The elite monster spawning one is really cool. It's an extra chance of getting 2% extra chance of getting more elite monsters. Increased potion duration, chance to string bows and go to the next step without needing bows, and you get the experience as well. Poison immunity, basically infinite run energy, because you restore it really, really quickly when you restore. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in. So
If
people,
there's any questions, but
yeah, if anyone wants to ask questions as the stream goes on, please pop them in. We'll add them to the pad I have here. But as a note, people who are saying I've just downloaded mobile, logged in, it's really laggy, you have to let the game download itself on the lobby, i.e. caching. So the reason for that is because the game has to download necessary files. What you're then doing is logging in without the game being cached, and the game's going to be quite janky until everything's downloaded. So I do recommend you stay on the lobby screen for about 5 minutes or so, and make sure you download on Wi-Fi. Don't use mobile data if possible.
So 3 questions I've seen. Yes, they are tradable. All 3 stages of Incense Burn are tradable. So the sticks are tradable, the ashed sticks are tradable, and the final thing is tradable. Overloads do work with the Lanternine Incense Burner, as I mentioned earlier. When we say stat boosting potion, we mean things like crafting potion, agility potion, hunter potion, potions that boost your stat but don't necessarily give you a timer. And I don't remember what the third one was. Oh, and your agility level doesn't increase the duration because you breathe smoke better. Doesn't make any sense.
All right. Actually, when can we see that being released? So obviously in the month ahead, so we're expecting in March. Do we have a specific release date for this?
In the next 4 weeks.
I
don't remember what
very
release
sensible.
date is.
It's very sensible to be in that.
It will be out in March.
It'll be out in March. Good. Okay, let's roll over. I'm actually going to come back to bounty hunting removal in just a second. Let's get on to PvM revitalization.
So many questions.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, if you guys
I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, just jump in.
So, so for logs, they use logs between logs and magic logs. They do not use the elder logs. I think elder logs are in a decent enough place. We don't want to use them. You can use corrupted magic logs instead of magic logs as well, I think. Who knows? It uses all normal herbs. I wanted to use the herbal habitat herbs in the original design, but we didn't get time to do that. It uses all ashes except for smouldering ashes.
Okay.
It's not called smouldering ashes. Searing ashes.
Searing ashes, yes.
So it uses impious, accursed, and infernal.
What about tortured?
And not that. Is that from Eddie's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't use tortured either. It uses accursed, impious, and infernal.
What about soda?
No.
Oh my lord, I have so much
Soda
I have so much soda ash for 120 fever actually.
I've got 11k of that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of soda ash.
Good stuff.
News post actually said it was going to release on the 18th. So there you go. There's your coverage there.
Oh, sure.
18th of March. There you go. So a week after this. Let's jump into PvM revitalization, and then we're going to bounty hunter removal. So PvM revitalization mentioned we can expect a new Slayer dungeon. So I guess where can we find this dungeon, and how do we get there?
I don't remember. It's a resource dungeon, so you can get your DG teleports.
Yeah, DG teleport cape. There you go.
Yeah, or the Horde-Stalker ring.
And is essentially around for abyssals and dark beasts, essentially. Just another way to kind of
Camp.
well, take the load away from having to hop 25 worlds to find a specific abyssal demon spot and so on and so forth.
Abyssal demons and double XP weekend at the top of the slide tower.
It was a nightmare.
There were 4 of us fighting, and I wasn't giving up. I was staying there.
Oh, I don't use the top anymore. I use the one just below it.
Nah, scrub. I mean,
Wow. At least there's no one there.
I think initially this was a game jam project from Mod Breezy and Mod Shrew, if I remember correctly. So obviously, as part of what was said, Ninja have been taking on certain game jam projects. This is one of them, so that kind of fits into what's called PvM Revitalization, is what we're theming it. Alongside that comes some highly awaited AOD stuffs Ramen. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to you. And what have you got for us coming up for the PvM Revitalisation Week? Yeah, it's got this nice list and everything.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, writing this list actually. So a while ago, which camera I'm on? Hello. A while ago, I'm not going to look directly into it.
Look at that angle. It's so. Oh, it's good.
Bashing. Anyway,
Quality.
so a while ago when the mining and smithing beta ran, we took the opportunity to put some Angel of Death quality of life fixes in to the beta, get some people on there testing them. Got a fair amount of feedback. If we had taken the changes we originally wanted to do and put them in the live game without running them through players first, it would have been a disaster, an absolute disaster. But we got loads of feedback. We updated the next week and got a round of extra feedback. And finally, we are now coming up to release. So I will go through a couple, big list.
There's nothing private on there. It's fine.
No, there isn't. Just
Yeah, mate, he showed me it first, just to be sure, before we're all good. Right, let's do it.
okay. I'll pop through them.
We're doing all of them, by the way. We're doing all of them. I think every one of them is worthy of a mention.
Let me get a drink.
Yeah, just chill, Timbo. It's all gravy.
Let me preface this with, originally we put the life point, we changed the life points to 3.5 mil. We've now gone back down to 3 mil.
Why did we go to 3.5 initially?
Because the fight was made smoother. There were points in the fight where previously you wouldn't be able to attack next, meaning there was nothing really to do. I added 500k on the thought process of now the fight is seamless and you can attack her during her phasing. Players would be able to build a dren, but they could have done that anyway on Reavers. They could have used abilities, and this isn't intended as a nerf. What's going on?
They're just laughing at because Timbo's picked up a can of Dr. Pepper.
Was my cannon shot?
Yeah. They went for a wide shot. Dr. Pepper just came up into the
What's
shot.
the worst that could happen?
Where was I?
You were basically talking about why we
Anyway,
gone back
so
to
yeah,
3 mil.
this isn't. I don't want the changes to screw over the Nubia teams. Let's
That's fair.
go with that.
That's fair.
Like the teams that are sort of doing it, and they just about get their kills. Adding 500k to the life points affects every phase. Would have affected every phase, and this isn't a buff. Like, this is just quality of life. And
So speaking of QLN, let's do it. What we got?
let's pop off.
Let's
So all kill timers are wiped upon login, standard.
respective message when you log in.
Yes.
Awesome.
Kill timers will only be tracked with 7 people or lower.
Yes, that's great because that means when I do the data stream in sometime in April, I'll actually have accurate kill times for groups. That makes me very happy. Awesome.
When each of the mage minions die, they will now shout and mez, so the order they died in is shown. Next is now attack up. Go on, Shawnee. Interrupt me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to interrupt your fun. I'm just trying to make it so when you say a mez is done, like, so can you give me an example of when you kill one and how that message is displayed?
Well, there's something.
I kill Umbra, right? And Umbra is like, no, master, I have failed you. And it's in purple.
And it says Umbra in the start as well.
And Umbra, yeah.
So nice. Like,
There's something on Twitter that is you put a gift in you.
At Jaggers Ramen.
At Jaggers.
Wrong camera.
see, I've allowed you to not plug your Twitter because of that. It's all working well. There you go.
Next is now attackable during her phasing. This allows players to build adrenaline and keep seamless combat damages reduced by 99% at this point. It's still the same amount of time during the phasing. Like, she's like,
So the same as Taraket in Elite Dungeon 3, where when he's phasing, you take one hit splash, but you can still build adrenaline.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Icicle Slam, Icicle health has been reduced to 20k, down from 100k. So this was the big, like the Icicle Slam on phase 3, I think it is.
Phase 3, I think it is.
And it was 100k life points, and you just left that dude to chill underneath it, right? So now,
Nice, chill.
Now the defense has been massively reduced on it. It's 20k. You can basically 2-hit it using Asphyxiate. It's gone. Alongside that, movement abilities are taken off of cooldown once that is killed or removed.
For
so that
everyone or
means
the person in
just the dude in there.
So he can.
So he can basically bladed dive straight back into
back into
the
that's
fight.
awesome.
Previously, like all your defensive abilities were still on cooldown, all your zoom abilities were still on cooldown.
Yeah.
Movement abilities.
Yeah.
Is it?
Icicle Bleed is applied after 6 cycles of being under the icicle as opposed to after, but your defensives aren't removed, so you can just use your devotion and chill there if you want. Players will be placed inside the room instead of on the ledge when entering the instance. And if the fight has begun, they are still put on the ledge, so you can still spectate. You know, when you previously entered the instance, you'd be put on that ledge, you'd have to click the pillar, then click yes. Screw that.
Just put them in.
Go,
Fair.
go straight
That's
in.
awesome.
Where are we? A leave option has been added to the flowing energy, so you can escape if you, or you can go to the bank if you want to get dread nips. Nex will no longer cleave with her melee hit. I need to remind me to go back to the middle. If Nex attacks with magic, she will hit the main tank after 3 cycles, allowing them time to react to the animation and switch her prep.
So this is really important, right? So one of the biggest issues you had since the AOD release, of course, was what you call the re-aggroing issue, right? And this is something that you found to be like a journey to try and get solved, right? So this is what you've been...
2 years, mate.
There we go. So yeah.
That was nothing to do with that, though.
Oh, was it not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I've just completely made a fool out of myself.
Oh, no, I made the fool. But the next one is Nex should no longer re-aggro after any of her attacks or phasing. Shadow Orbs, I mean, we tested this thoroughly. Like, we were there for an hour, and I was commanding people to voke, you voke, she does a special attack, no aggro. Everyone had Titans out, it was all good. Shadow Orbs have been changed to NPCs, so they now stack on top of each other. The ice closing in around the edges of the arena in Phase 1 has been removed. It was causing major FPS drops when spawning in, and gave nothing to the fight. So, just removed it, quality of life. The fog in the room has been reduced, so now you can see stuff without changing your skybox filters. Players are no longer... here we go, this is the big one. All right. Players are no longer punished for killing Nex with less than 7 players in regards to the drop rate. So...
Okay.
So, if you and I go in and kill Nex as a duo, we would still be rolling against a 7-player drop.
Which is currently
Yes.
1 in 1k, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So we would get punished. So no, you're no longer being punished for doing Nex with a less team.
Yeah, the drop rate will now scale to how many players.
Yes.
That is very...
Although obviously above 7, it still has the anti-massing mechanic.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's still
It's still-
above
yeah,
7.
yeah.
Okay.
As you would expect.
What's the number, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't want you asking that.
You want me asking?
So we're still working out, like, making sure it's bang on the correct number, and then once we do that, we'll release.
But there should be little to no change of the actual drop
there will
rates.
be almost little to no change. Alongside that, all players are now able to roll on a unique, very similar to Solak.
Oh.
So how it previously worked was if us 3 were killing AOD, Timbo was the first person to roll on a wand, and Timbo got the wand, then every time Shawnee rolls and every time I roll, there's no chance for me to get a unique. So now this will mean when you do, you have a chance of getting 7 wands per kill, but...
Or 14 with HSR.
Yeah,
Or 14 with HSR, yeah. Basically exactly how Salak works.
Amazing.
If a player dies, Nex should no longer re-aggro to another player unless it was the tank that died. The off-tank roll drop has been removed and replaced with a DPS roll, and a quick exit option has been added at the end of the fight.
Nice. You told me to remind you to go back to the middle.
I did.
Yes, there you go.
That was the drop rate stuff.
Oh, fine. Well, I did my job there anyway.
Yeah, so we've done a couple of play tests over the last couple of weeks. I think you came to a couple.
Yeah, I came to the first one.
And she's just feeling smooth, and she needed the quality of life. If you don't know, I did it 2 years ago when I was learning to code. Now I can kind of code.
Don't put yourself down like
she
that.
feels a lot better, and I'm happy she's out the way, and I no longer have to talk.
I feel like the quotes that you just said about she just feels smooth might be quoted. Oh, yeah, there you go.
She feels less janky, let's say.
If you want to give feedback on mobile beta, you can just go on the RuneScape forums. There is a section called mobile RuneScape mobile testing that is now open for members, so you can now post away on that. There's a feedback thread as well if you want to comment on that to give us feedback for the mobile team. let's go into some other stuff in relation to PvM revitalization. There's some really good general stuff, which is very exciting. Legendary pets now going for the most expensive item when scavenging is awesome.
Awesome.
Can't wait for that.
What about spirit gems? You're going to stop picking up my spirit gems?
Do you know, I didn't do it. I didn't do.
Wait,
You
has that been done?
I don't have. I don't.
Because I put that on the ninja spreadsheet, and maybe it's been done.
We'll have to double check that one, I think. This is pretty awesome for rangers, but the ricochet ability will now hit up to a range of 6 tiles, which is pretty awesome.
Up from 4?
Yeah, 4 to 6.
Sweet.
The Tormented Demons teleport is now on the 6th age circuit. I've never been there, but it must be useful, I guess.
Or Tormented Demons?
Yeah, I've never done TDs. Ever.
Really?
Seriously, ever. The only time I've ever done them is Rush of Blood, where they've spawned, and that's it.
2010
TDs are super fun, mate. Like they were the bee's knees. Now just catch them in your soul Ushabdi and they never switch pro.
Remora's necklace now has unlimited teleport charges, so easier for QPD trips, which is nice. And this is a personal favourite of mine because I love DG, but the fight with the DG boss Stomp will basically trigger when the crystals are placed, so you're not just waiting and waiting and waiting for him to timer and then go on. It then does it and then insta-kills him as well when you've done the 3rd set, which is awesome. And the other thing in the revitalization, based on what I've got here on this list, is the raids practice modes for practice modes for raids. So all in all, that week's pretty hype. I'm very excited.
It's got some awesome fixes. Like Mod Pi did some pretty fantastic.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other quality of life stuff we're not mentioning yet.
Yeah, this is only some of the stuff as well, which is mentioned. Okay, let's come to Bounty Hunter removal. So, Tim, I'm going to come over to you because of the reward redistribution. So, kind of a clarity, as it were. So, Bounty Hunter scheduled to be removed next Monday. As a result, what's going on with the rewards? How can everyone get to them? So,
most of the rewards for Bounty Hunter are going into wilderness content and wilderness-related content. So, so for rune pouches, you now have a chance while abyssal rune crafting, so using rune crafting by the abyssing to find rune thread or runic thread or something along those lines, and you need a certain number of threads in order to make a large or small rune pouch.
Cool.
The thread is tradable and the pouches are tradable still.
Is the thread dropped or death in PK, I presume?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If you're wearing the abyssal skull. What's
Demonic skull?
Demonic skull. Damn. That's what. Yeah. Well, if you're wearing that skull, you have an increased chance of getting runic thread while runecrafting with the abyss. The Revenant pet drops is now. So the Revenant pet that was the upgradable Elo pet thing from Bounty Hunter is now droppable from a Revenant pet from Revenants in the wilderness. The higher level the Revenant, the better chance you are of getting the pet, and the different stages of pet become more and more rarer. So the Imp is quite common, relatively common. But then getting the Revenant Dragon right at the end is quite rare. What else is there? The Ancient Armor patches drop from Revenants, but only if you are on a Slayer task. There is a new Slayer Master for the Wilderness that only assigns Wilderness-specific tasks. You cannot cancel tasks or prefer tasks from him, and he will ignore your prefer and block list.
So they choose random on what you get?
Yeah, but it'll be something inside the Wilderness, and it only counts, he'll only tick down for kills inside the Wilderness. So if you get Abyssal Demons and go to the Slayer Tower, it won't tick down. You won't get any Slayer experience. He awards the same number of points as Morvran.
21.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. More like 25, 30, I thought. He awards the same number of points as Morvran. What else is there?
I think it was 20. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's not
That might be the multiplier or something.
What else is there? There's a new Wilderness rare drop table, which has things like Adren crystals and some of the other like gubbins from the reward shop, from the Bounty Hunter reward shop, and that drops from every monster that's killable inside the Wilderness, from the rogues up in the rogues castle, from pickpocketing them, and from the muddy chest. Muddy chest.
Yeah, muddy chest.
The higher level the monster, or the higher level the content, the greater the chance of rolling on that rare drop table. The luck rings work with that as well. I'm sure there's other stuff I'm missing.
Amulet of Forsaken.
Amulet of Forsaken is now a rare drop from regular barrows.
Ogre Flasks.
Tier 87.
Ogre Flasks are now craftable with robust glass. It takes 10 robust glass to make an Ogre Flask. The Tier 87 weapons... Oh, so there's the emblem system. So So the emblem system's been simplified. While on a Slayer task and you have an emblem, you gain points on your emblem. You gain potential on your emblem, and your emblem will rank up. The emblems are still handable into Mandrith for bounty hunter points, and that's how you that's how you can buy the tier 87 weapons. If you kill a target, if you kill someone who has an emblem, you'll get half the amount of potential from the emblem onto your emblem. Yeah. I think that's everything.
That's a lot of it. Let's put it that way. But obviously,
That's most of it.
That's most of it. And as a note, obviously that
the upgrades for the Firemaking armor sets are drops from the red drop table, Wilderness red drop table as well, and the food as well. If you cared about the food, probably not.
Can you still buy the Rune Poucher emblems?
You can still buy mostly everything with the bounty hunter points from emblems. Yes, I think it's still everything.
Okay.
I would say mostly, just to be sure. Me and Mod KOC ran through it on a live stream 2 weeks ago.
Oh yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
3 weeks ago, so you can see the reward store there, and we talked about it a bit more in detail.
Okay, so next up on my list is this might be a quick section, but the Transmogrification unification. I'm gonna hate saying that many a time. So here's a quick overview. What is this update going to do?
I have no idea.
I do.
There we go, Raman.
Genuinely no idea.
So it comes from mod Pebble, and basically, if you like transmog rings, all your transmog rings are in your bank.
The posing is brilliant.
I love it.
Absolutely.
The angle is so good for it.
This basically puts it into a tab in where your remotes are, as far as.
Oh well, yeah, I do remember. Okay,
and you can basically just access them from wherever you are.
So obviously, instead of either taking a bank space, you can just straight into the angle anyway. Just a way of consolidating all of that into one. So you can, if you want to transmog as a specific person via that, you can do it via that interface.
Which is really timely, ready for parcels from the hedge, where you can buy the transmog rings for
250
postage stamps
each, I believe it is. 250 stamps each, I think it is. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't got any of them, so I need to get going on that one. So as a note, actually, as well, we're going to cover this because the stream itself's probably not going to run the entire hour, and that's completely fine because, admittedly, because we've just released the mobile beta cap, it's quite busy upstairs right now. So, of course, we wanted to make sure we did the stream, make sure we covered for the month ahead. As a final note, we do want to cover something in relation to a competition we ran in regards to Solomon's. Do we have those assets ready? Assets on an email. Oh man, there was an email sent. I saw it. It's okay. Okay, I'll have to plug it via news post. That's fine. So on March the 1st, there was a news post that went out in relation to Solomon's General Store contest that we ran. That is available now. They are in relation to the Wyvern Cape, the Fairy Drake, and the Night Fairy Drake. 2 pets and a cape from player suggestions who won this competition. They're now in game. The Wyvern Cape, I think, looks absolutely amazing. So definitely give that a look-see for sure. But I think for that, we haven't been able to cover much on bounty hunt removal because, of course, we did a dedicated stream on it, so we kind of showed everything there. But
some people are asking, Iron Men can do the bounty hunter system, as far as I can tell. So they can buy tier 87. They can buy Annihilation and Decimation, and the third one.
Annihilation.
I said Annihilation.
Obliteration.
Obliteration. That's the one. So far as I know, they can buy them.
Just a camera zip on it.
What else? There was another question, but I can't remember what it was. Something about removal. As far as I know, your bounty hunter points stay as current.
Oh, so they transferred over.
If you have an emblem, it will transfer over to the new system as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, boy.
All right. I think, albeit not the full hour stream that we normally do, but that's completely fine because it's been kind of a unique day, obviously, with the mobile cap releasing, and I'd quite like to get upstairs and find out how we're all doing and reply to.
Want to go upstairs and solo ED3?
No,
we only get another massive
admittedly, I wish I could just go upstairs and log into Twitch very quickly so I can get my parcel, but we can't win on that one. I should put my mobile down for that one.
It's all right. You can just delay RuneScape for us.
Yeah.
I could, but
I leave the stream up. It's fine.
But yes, we're gonna head upstairs. I do want to say this for everyone who has got involved in the initial cap release. first of all, enjoy it. It is, of course, active development. It is a beta. Stuff may go wrong, etc., etc. You know how it goes, a work in progress stuff. But it's very exciting that we can finally get to this point where we can open it up to 25,000 more people as of today. And from 9 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to be opening up to another 25,000 more of you. So
I thought you were going to get up then.
yeah, Ram's just going to get out and
See you
go.
later.
But I think that'll do it. So if you have an Android phone, and your phone meets the specs, go and download it if the spots haven't already gone. I'm not sure. And apart from that, though, get excited for March, of course. We've got the bounty hunt and removal coming next Monday. The Firemaking and incense burners update the week after that. The week after that's PvM revitalization week with AOD fixes.
Oh yeah, there's all the fire spirit changes coming with them.
Oh yes, actually, fire spirits. Yes, we can talk about them.
Fire spirits are better, and they now in your back inventory.
They have a timer bar.
That was a sentence.
No, they have a timer bar as well, though, right?
They have a timer bar as
Yeah,
well.
which is good.
What about the firelighter thing? Is that?
Firelighters will automatically collect fire spirits for you.
Awesome. There's
Okay.
apparently a bug on our cactus. Can I get the code breaker title, please? Game breaker title, please. Is there a bug on the cactus?
Yeah, mate.
What? I can't see it. I've clearly not got a QA or what, because it's got
a bug on it, pal.
Yeah.
Kill it. It will drop a stone spirit.
Oh, a bug! Oh my
Jesus Christ.
I took it literally. On that note, I think I'm going to get ready to end the stream because I can't really end it on a more embarrassing note than that. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. If you are involved in mobile, do enjoy it. I want to keep updating you with feedback as much as we can. Take care, everyone, and have a good one.
Bye.
Goodbye.